I'm not able to really speak. 12 years in Toastmasters journey. I've been waiting for this day. For 5 to 7 minutes I'm going to speak before you for the ultimate in Toastmasters. Today I'm going to talk about something which is pretty close to me. Something which I took up as mission to envision India. But before I do that, I'm sure we have people in this room who don't understand or who may not know about this HPL program. So Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests, HPL is a program which is high performance leadership, and it's a very important requirement for a DTM program because it's a practical workshop for learning leadership skills. It's a place where you take a project and you test your leadership skills and check whether it's working for you or not. And it's a place where you can check how and where you can do it. How does it run? What is the process? So there is a guidance committee, as you would see here. I had spoken to Meena John, who is the district governor for District 82. I have been able to talk to Prasad, who is the Division E governor, and a senior leader from IBM to help me in this leadership journey. They have been my coach, mentor, guide. They gave me feedback throughout the project. And what was the project? Something which was very, very close to my heart. When I realized that out of 40 lakh people who are blind, only 10,000 people are able to donate eyes. Why? Because the awareness was extremely low. That's the reason I took this project. And I know that I can't do this alone. So I have a team of people, which is Mithun, Suja, Deepak. All of them are not part of Infosys, but they came together for a common cause. So what are these skills? These are these 6 dimensions of leadership. They are put to test. Now what you will notice is, if you go back, I did a baseline. This is where I was before I did my HPL. You'll find this spider graph is slightly skewed. And at the end of 4 months, this is where I am. So what you find is 2 things which is changing here. One, certain dimensions are changing, which is what you find here, direction. If I go back, this part versus what it is now, which is basically giving the team a direction to where they want to go. And also become more rounded as an individual. So my leadership skills, which was slightly skewed in certain areas, became more rounded at the end of these 4 months. Makes sense? Definitely it makes sense. That's why Team International has put this as part of the requirement. Moving on, how did we do? What are the key highlights? So I don't want you to read this Excel and table here, but the key thing which I learned and I believe which led to success of this project was the fact that I had set very clear vision for this program. The mission and the core values. What are the vision? Simple. I want to see every blind in this world see this beautiful world. Seems impossible, but then that's the vision. We define how we measure this. We put some matrix because you may have an as open-ended program as this, but then at some way you should be able to track whether your efforts are effective or not. We said, okay, fine. How many people can I talk about it? How many people can they really go and sign on the dotted line for pledging? And how many such interventions I would need to do that? Right? So we put all those measures here. We formed a team, we had a detailed action plan, and as you would notice, we visited several hospitals, communities, we spoke in Infosys outside to deliver this. Now what you see on this slide is I don't want to confuse with numbers. What I want to highlight is that it was a very detailed project planning which led to a successful execution. 3 numbers I want you to focus on. We were able to touch 1,345 people in the last 4 months to make them aware of the need for donation. 123 people till date, still going on, have pledged their eyes. Seemingly small number, but believe me, is not a small number if you look at the data now. And the guidance committee, who have been constantly in touch with us or with me, gave some feedback, and I put a metric that 50% of whatever feedback they gave, I'm going to implement it. So as a leader, what did I gain? 3 things. The first one was direction setting and clarity of goals. As you would see on the Excel earlier, the clarity was there. Everyone in the team knew who has to do what are we trying to achieve. The one of the fundamental things we set for ourselves as a core value is we will not solicit pledges. So I'm not going to ask you saying, can you pledge? We will not do that. We're going to talk about it. If you get inspired, fantastic. You can get a form from me and I'll give it to you. But I'm not going to solicit that. The second was, how do I support my team to do this? I can't do it alone, for sure. And third one is, how can I persuade? And there's something that is very interesting because I never knew this. A good story was, when I was talking about this eye donation in the camp, two children came up and said, Uncle, can you also pledge our eyes? That was a really emotional moment for me because I believe that I was able to persuade to that level and make them pledge their eyes. The areas that I found we could have improved is probably in terms of getting ownership. Not many people are willing to take ownership and drive it. I think that's something which I could do better. And I think tracking and follow up on a regular basis. The moment a week I did not track, things went out of hand. So that's an area which I thought as a leader I should improve. But the areas where I felt something just remained with me for a long time, maybe two things. One is, my family supported me full time, but they didn't question me, why I'm doing it, I'm not interested. No. My son carried the bottles and water and biscuits for all volunteers to do it without asking. I think that's phenomenal. The other thing was, Rajshekar, he picked up a phone and said, Rajkumar, can you meet me? I find your project very interesting. So I believe that, in fact, the other one is, I found a team member on the railway footbridge, this footbridge at Infosys. He said, are you Rajkumar? Are you doing eye donation thing? I said, how do you know? I haven't spoken to you. So the point I'm making here is that if you want to do something, the world will collaborate to make it happen for you. So this is the last slide. I want to leave you some pictures here of the effort which we went. I don't think this is complete. The vision is very high. It's just a beginning. Miles to go before I really sleep over into Toastmasters.